What's up, my friend? Abby here, and welcome back to Writer's Life Wednesdays, where we come together to help you make your story matter and make your author dreams come true. Today, I am answering the 5 most common questions I get asked by writers all over the world. I kept noticing these questions pop up in the chat on my live streams, in emails to me, in direct messages, and I thought, why not just make a video answering all of these questions and save everybody a lot of time and trouble. So in this video, I'm going to answer the 5 big questions that I get asked all the time and give you some clear, no nonsense, brutally honest advice, which is the whole reason why you follow this channel, right? For my savage sarcasm and divine wisdom and unapologetic criticism of anything that doesn't have enough internal conflict. Why does your story matter? Good question. What if I told you that there's a science behind every great story? I don't just teach you how to write. I teach you how to change the world with your story and make your author dreams come true. Okay, question number 1. I get asked this so many times. I see it in all the live streams. I get direct messages. Just so many people, so many writers asking me this question. How do I come up with a good story idea? Yes, it is a real struggle that a lot of writers face. But the answer is quite simple. Imagine your ideal book. Okay, the kind of book that you would immediately impulse buy and read in one sitting and then spend the rest of your life fangirling over and forcing all your friends to read it. That's the book you should write. And how do you make it addictive so that other people will love it too? Understand the science behind what makes a story work, what pulls you into a story and makes you care about the characters. Internal conflict. If you're new to this, here is internal conflict in a nutshell. Your character wants something. Your character is also afraid of something. Okay, they have a very clear goal that they are actively pursuing, but they also have a very clear fear that is holding them back from achieving true happiness. That's what makes us care and what propels the story forward. Not the plot, not the world, and certainly not exploding spaceships. Okay, it can include exploding spaceships if that's your thing, but that's not what makes us ultimately care about the story, about the characters. That's not what keeps us up past our bedtime. That's not what makes us emotional or makes us sob into our pillow for 3 hours when the book ends. A good story is one that has you at the heart of it. Okay, so don't just think about what's exciting or what's popular. Think about what matters to you. How can you craft an internal struggle for your characters that connects with your heart and by extension, connects with the heart of your reader? If you still have no idea what to write about, check out this video right here. It is my foolproof process for figuring out what to write, coming up with a unique story idea that is all your own, but drawing inspiration from other stories and other characters. And once you have your basic premise for the story sketched out, I would recommend moving on to developing your protagonist's misbelief, which I have a whole detailed video on right here. Another question that I see all the time, especially on my live streams, am I too young to publish a novel? Better question, do you have a story that you're proud of and that you feel confident sharing with the world? A lot of teenage writers want to publish their first novel before they turn 20, which is an exciting idea. I wanted to do the exact same thing. For a long time, I had that as my goal. I had this idea of I'm going to publish my first book before I turn 20. I'll be a teen author. It will be so exciting. It'll be so great. But ultimately, I waited until I felt confident with the story that I was going to share as my debut novel, which ended up being 100 Days of Sunlight. If you're new around here and you haven't heard me talk about this a million times. Here's the thing. Your debut novel is going to be a huge part of your reputation as an author, and you never have a second chance to make a good first impression. Teen writers, you have plenty of time. Don't rush. Make sure you're happy with your book, because 10 years from now, is it really going to matter what age you were when you published your debut? Probably not. But you know what will matter? Whether or not you're proud of it. Question number 3, how do I make my protagonist relatable? Make them as much like a real person as possible. Give them desires, fears, and misbeliefs. Give them weaknesses and strengths, and a deep internal conflict behind every decision they make. Figure out their personality and why they believe what they believe. Dig into their past and figure out what made them into the person they are today. What is it they want? What is the clear goal that they are actively pursuing? What do they think will make them happy and why? What is their greatest fear? What do they believe is true about the world? What is their weakness? And how does it trip them up every time they try to find happiness? If you know all of the answers to all of these questions, then congratulations, your protagonist is relatable. If you want to go deeper into all of this, check out my other videos on character development right here. Number 4, how do I stay motivated to write when I feel like giving up? First, remember your why. Why does this story matter to you? Why are you passionate about it? Write that down on a sticky note, put it on your desk, remind yourself of it constantly. When you're burnt out, take a rest, refill your cup, laugh, explore, play. When you're bored, good. Boredom is a side effect of mastery. Imagine if your favorite author lost motivation and decided to not finish writing the book that changed your life. Your book is that book for someone else. It will be, if you finish it. You owe it to them to finish it. Another thing you can do when you feel like giving up is go listen to the podcast that I do with my sister. We constantly talk about motivation, how to stay motivated as writers, and give lots of valuable tips that will help you to stay the course and finish your project. And question number 5, what books should I read on the writing craft? Your 10 favorite movies plus a notebook. Not kidding, that's my answer. Check out all of the stuffy theoretical books on writing and instead study your favorite stories. Figure out what makes them so good. Figure out what makes them addictive, what makes you want to click next episode. What is that? If you ask yourself the right questions, I guarantee you will find answers. You will find patterns. You will see the method to the madness. You will see the science behind your favorite stories and how you can apply that science, that strategy to your own writing. Experiential learning is better than any book knowledge you will ever receive. Not saying that you can't learn things from books, because you can, you totally can, but I've seen so many writers who will go buy all the books on writing that they can find and read them and highlight them and make notes, and by the end of that process, you are just cramming a ton of knowledge into your head and you're not really sure how to apply it to your own writing or even why it works. It's so much more eye-opening to be able to see what makes your favorite stories so good. What personally pulls you in and makes you care about the characters. This is something that I have spent my life deciphering and studying and analyzing. Every time I fall in love with a story, I have to analyze it. I have to unravel it and see the science behind it. I have to understand why it works, why it makes me care. And that is 90% of the knowledge I have right now about writing. I've learned experientially by studying my favorite stories and figuring out why they work. Tie that in with a basic understanding of psychology and how the human brain responds to information input, and you will be miles ahead of most writing students who just buy the books on writing and read them and try to digest this information without ever really grasping the true meaning of story. Mic drop. If you want to see my story studying process and the questions that I ask myself to figure out the science behind my favorite stories, check out this video right here. It includes some super helpful free study guides to help you uncover the science behind your favorite movies, TV shows, and books. Okay, boom, that's it. The 5 most common questions I get asked all the time by you guys. I hope this video has helped you, given you some good, brutally honest advice that you can go forth and apply with confidence in your own writing journey. If you have more questions that I did not answer, questions that you're like, come on, Abbie, I ask this all the time and you didn't answer in this video, drop it below in the comments. And if it gets a bunch of likes, I will know that a lot of people want to know the answer to that question. And maybe I'll make a part 2 to this video of 5 more questions that every writer asks me. Smash that like button if you liked this video, and be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because I post writing videos every single Wednesday and I would love to have you here in the community. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon, because that's where we go beyond videos and take storytelling to the next level. The Patreon community is not only the best way to support what I'm doing here on YouTube, but it's also the only way to connect one-on-one with me and get better guidance and advice on your story. So go to patreon.com/Abbie Emmons and check out all the extra content that I have over there for you. Until next week, my friend, rock on. I need to just go into my mind palace and visualize my story, and I just need that. It's like a need. You can feel that you need it, you know?
There's so much to be said for doing nothing.
Yeah.
You know? And I mean that in the most constructive way possible. Because a lot of